Hi and welcome to Tungsten Tales TV, and today joining me I have commentator, broadcaster John Rawling. Great to have you here, John.
Nice to be here.
John, just talk a little bit about the darts here at the Players' Championships. We've had some upsets yesterday and today we've had some great matches. Can you talk a little bit about the tournament so far?
Well, it's been an excellent tournament. I mean, Minehead I think is a fantastic venue for darts. If you've never been here, there's about 4,500 people out there and it's absolutely sold out, and as ever we've had some great drama along the way. We've had some terrific close finishes, some amazing comebacks on the first day, people coming back from the edge of defeat and coming and making remarkable rallies. Think about Andy Hamilton and about Gary Anderson coming back when they looked as though they were beaten. And then just now we've seen a terrific shootout between Raymond van Barneveld and Robert Thornton, which went to the very last leg. Thornton will think that he could have won it and should have won it, but he just couldn't get across the line. The crowd were going mad, and Barney finally gets the double, which put him into the quarterfinals and potentially a quarterfinal match against his old rival Phil Taylor. But I love it. I love it. I love the whole gladiatorial atmosphere. There's a lot of similarities, you know, in some ways between boxing and darts.
And that's sort of into my next question, really. I mean, we know you work very closely and commentate on a lot of the big fights. Do you see those similarities carrying over? We see the ring walks and stuff with boxing, and that we've got that in darts now as well. I mean, the fans get so involved as well. It's great to see two sports with such passionate fans.
Well, yeah, I mean, the fans love it. The fans make it, don't they? When you think where darts is now and where it sits within the national sporting calendar, if you like, it's just become just amazing. I mean, I think what the PDC, what Barry Hearn and the whole organisation have done with darts is fantastic, and they make these into they're not just boxing competitions, they're major events, and people want to play a part in them. And the thing about darts in comparison to boxing, if you make a mess of it in darts, you will lose. You know, you are not at the races in boxing, and in all probability you're going to get hurt, you're going to get beaten. If you're not there, if you're not on the money in darts, usually you will wind up being beaten. It's got that gladiatorial atmosphere, and I must say I absolutely love it.
You talked earlier about some players coming back from the brink this weekend. In boxing last weekend we saw the biggest player in Britain, Carl Froch, come back from the very brink. Some people said the fight was stopped a little bit too early, but you've covered a lot of Froch fights. You've seen him all the way through his career, you know, on ITV when he was winning world titles, etc. What did you think of that fight, and did you think that it was the right decision by the referee?
I think that the fight was going to end. I think that there's been a little bit of a rewriting of history as a result of what was possibly a slightly early stoppage. I feel a little bit for the referee, Howard Foster, because I think he's an honest man who's made a decision, and I think what people have got to respect is that he was the closest in there. Carl Froch is one remarkable fighter. I mean, he was caught in that first round by as good a right hand, I think, as George Groves. Was it a right hand?
Yeah, right hand.
Good a shot as George Groves has ever thrown. He went down and the bell came at absolutely the right time, and I accept that he was hurt at that stage and badly hurt. But
I think he even does accept that.
Yeah, I mean, but he had a minute to recover. And that's the difference between what happened to Carl Froch there and what happened to George Groves in that 9th round. Carl Froch had the minute to recover, but George Groves was badly hurt in that 9th round. And I personally think that a few more punches and it would have been just a question of counting out. I could be wrong, but I thought it was a remarkable comeback from Carl Froch. George Groves fought a great fight, and he's established himself in the British sporting public now. They know all about Groves, but Carl Froch, the story goes on.
You couldn't be there tonight, but Derek Chisora is fighting another fight at heavyweight. He's back at the copper box. He's looking in better shape than ever. Do you think Derek now in 2014 can kick on to another world title shot?
I'm almost sure he will do. You look at Derek now. Just try and find a photograph of Derek Chisora when he fought Tyson Fury when he was what, 18 stone 7, 18 stone 8.
He's banned all those photographs. You won't anyone see them. Yeah.
And then look at it. I mean, he looks like a different guy, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
The muscle definition's there, and I think he says it's his mother who's had a word with him, but whoever it is, you know, the big fella's taking it seriously now, and the way the heavyweight division is shaking down, I don't think, you know, clearly the Klitschkos aren't going to be there forever. Vitali's got political ambitions. I think he's going to sail away into the sunset before too long. Vladimir, maybe that could be a fight. Maybe Vladimir against Derek Chisora at some stage. He's got his, he's very much back in the mix. I'd like to see him fight Tyson Fury again. But what about David Price?
Be a great fight, and David Price obviously rebuilding out there in Germany. Maybe that's something I think Chisora is mandatory to his British title anyway, isn't he? Or the purse bids have gone in for that, but maybe won't happen. But that'd be a great fight further down the road, maybe as well.
Well, all sorts of options, aren't there? I mean, David Price has got the possibility as well. He's also the Commonwealth champion, isn't he? So he's got a chance of possibly going in against Brown, the big Australian, who's a handful, a big bruiser, isn't he? There's Deontay Wilder out there who's going to want to get in the mix with these British guys. He's right there. David's going to be back in action. You're going to be able to see that actually on Box Nation on December the 14th. He's on the undercard of the Bremer World Title fight over in Germany, and I actually think David's done the right thing in going with the Sauerlands, because to some extent he's going to be able to regroup and rebuild away from the pressure and the spotlight of being the main event at the Echo Arena in Liverpool. It's fantastic that he's got that support, and that'll serve him well probably at some stage in the future. But to come through those two damaging defeats, he really does need to rebuild his confidence and work with Adam Booth towards getting back to the sort of form and the sort of results that we hope and believe that he's capable of producing.
And a big fight tonight in Canada for Tony Bellew, challenging for the WBC light heavyweight title against the fearsome punching Adonis Stevenson. But also on the undercard there, a guy that you know well, Sergei Kovalev, who's a mean punching Russian. So just talk about those two fights as well.
Well, Kovalev's fighting that guy Silak, isn't he?
Who was hyped up, as a big
yeah,
man.
I mean, Kovalev, we saw what he did to Nathan Cleverly, and he is a banger, no question about it. He's something like 40 to 1 on or some ridiculous price to win that. It's going to be, I think you're going to see again a fearsome display of the lad's power. He's clearly got something special. I think he's going to find more of a problem when he goes in against somebody who can move and manoeuvre him around the ring. An Andre Ward type fighter would give him plenty of trouble. But I don't think that's going to be it. And then when it comes to the main event, well, Tony Bellew, immensely brave guy. And he's got height advantages. He's going to be able to, he's going to try, I think, and fight it from range. But whether or not he's going to be able to keep him off, I very much doubt. And I think that it's going to be Stevenson winning the fight. And I would have thought that the stoppage could come round about the halfway stage.
Fantastic. John, thanks so much for joining us here on Tungsten Tales. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, youtube.com/Tungsten Tales. Tweet us at Tungsten Tales.